Your license is gone. You are just the last to know. Imagine getting pulled over tomorrow morning for something completely routine. A rolled stop sign, a forgotten signal. The officer runs your plates, walks back to your window, and tells you something that stops your heart cold. Your license has been suspended, not because you were reckless, not because you were impaired, because of something quiet, something administrative, something you never knew was being tracked. And here is the part that makes this genuinely frightening. According to verified consumer protection data published in 2026, your license can be suspended without you knowing, in cases involving insurance lapses, unpaid fines, or an outdated address on file with your DMV. No phone call, no warning at your door, and just a suspended license waiting to ambush you the next time you sit behind the wheel. This is not a scare tactic. It is happening to real drivers right now across this country, and every single one of them thought it could never happen to them. By the time this video ends, you will know exactly what is triggering these silent suspensions in 2026 and exactly what to do today to make sure your license stays protected. The insurance gap that is silently flagging drivers in 2026. The first and most widespread suspension trigger of 2026 is catching even the most responsible drivers completely off guard, and it has everything to do with how insurance verification has fundamentally changed this year. Multiple states have now activated real-time electronic insurance verification systems that connect DMV databases directly to insurance company data feeds around the clock. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro signed Act 3 of 2026 into law in February, requiring PennDOT to establish a live online verification system where insurance companies report your coverage status directly to the state in real time. Before this law, drivers who switched insurance providers faced 3-month automatic registration suspensions simply because of a brief administrative data gap between their old and new policies, and most of them had no idea it was happening until an officer told them roadside. Kansas enacted SB 42 of 2026, ending paper insurance cards entirely and replacing them with live database verification that flags lapses the moment they occur. But Missouri launched its uninsured motorist verification program in early 2026, and Ohio and New Jersey both have active insurance verification bills moving through their legislatures right now. What this means practically is that the buffer drivers once relied on are completely gone. In states running live verification, a single day without active coverage can trigger an automatic flag. In Ohio, a first offense for uninsured driving results in immediate license suspension with a $40 reinstatement fee on top of all other consequences. The action you need to take today is simple. Log into your insurance account, confirm your renewal date, and set a calendar reminder 1 week before that date every year. If you are switching providers, overlap your policies by at least 1 day. One 5-minute phone call to your insurer today can prevent months of license reinstatement headaches tomorrow. Your phone is a direct path to a suspended license right now. The second suspension trigger is one that millions of drivers walk straight into every single day because they genuinely believe enforcement will never be strict enough to personally affect them. That belief is now provably and expensively wrong. South Carolina's Hands-Free and Distracted Driving Act took full enforcement effect on February 28, 2026, following a mandatory 6-month warning period. Within the very first weeks of active ticketing, nearly 3,500 citations were issued statewide. First offense fines are $100. Repeat violations bring $200 fines and 2 points added directly to your license. Now, Illinois strengthened its hands-free law effective January 1, 2026, making it illegal to touch your phone at all while in motion, even while stopped at a red light. In Illinois, 3 moving violations within 12 months, including phone citations, trigger an automatic license suspension. Iowa began active enforcement of its new hands-free law on January 1, 2026. Florida, Ohio, and Pennsylvania have all shifted to primary enforcement, meaning an officer can now pull you over solely for holding your phone without any other violation needing to occur. What makes this so dangerous for your license, specifically, is how invisibly the points accumulate. 2 phone citations in 1 month, then a rolling stop violation 3 months later, and you are already knocking on the suspension threshold door in multiple states. These citations are reported digitally and instantly, with no delay between the ticket being written and the points appearing on your DMV record. Put the phone face down in your center console the moment you start your engine. Use Bluetooth for every call. In 2026, the enforcement infrastructure to catch you is already fully in place and actively expanding across every state in this country. The silent suspension that hits drivers with clean records. This is the trigger that causes the most genuine shock because it arrives without any warning and hits drivers who genuinely believe their record is perfectly clean. Here is exactly how it happens. You received a traffic ticket 2 or 3 years ago. You either paid it or forgot about it entirely after moving to a new address. If the court notified your state DMV of a failure to appear or a failure to pay, the DMV mailed a suspension notice to whatever address was on file at that time, which was your old address. That letter never reached you. The suspension was applied anyway, and you have been driving on a suspended license ever since, without any idea that it happened. A real documented case from Florida captured this scenario precisely. A driver discovered through a public forum that the DMV had been sending suspension warnings to an old address for months. They found out only when pulled over for a minor violation. By then, the original fine had grown with administrative fees, a reinstatement fee had been added, and they faced potential criminal charges for driving while suspended, which is a criminal offense in most states, not just a traffic infraction. The protection here is completely within your control. Go to your state's official DMV website today and pull your complete driving record. Look specifically for any open violations, failure to appear flags, and suspension notations. Then verify that the address currently on file with your DMV is where you actually live right now. If you find anything unresolved, contact the relevant court this week. Courts in most states will negotiate payment plans and often reduce accumulated fees for drivers who reach out proactively rather than waiting to be caught driving suspended. New York changed the rules in February 2026, and most drivers missed it. On February 16, 2026, New York's completely restructured DMV point system took full effect. The changes are significant, the consequences are immediate, and the model New York established is being actively studied by other states preparing to follow. The suspension threshold was reduced from 11 points within an 18-month window to 10 points within a 24-month window. That sounds like a minor adjustment until you understand the real-world impact. The longer 24-month window means older violations stay on your record longer and continue contributing to your total for a greater period of time. Meanwhile, point values on individual violations were increased simultaneously. Driving while intoxicated or driving without a license now carries 11 points in a single incident, which immediately exceeds the new 10-point threshold entirely on its own. Minor speeding violations received increased point values as well. Yet the DMV confirmed publicly that this restructuring is designed to identify patterns of behavior more aggressively and act on them faster than at any point in New York's licensing history. If you are a New York driver, check your current point total on the official DMV website immediately. If you are a driver in any other state, search whether your state has introduced similar restructuring in the past 12 months, because the legislative movement across the country is moving uniformly in one direction. Thresholds are dropping, point values are increasing, and the automated systems tracking your record are faster and less forgiving than they have ever been before. The actions you must take before this becomes your emergency. Every section of this video leads to this moment because understanding a risk only matters when it moves you to act before the damage is done. Start with your insurance today. Confirm your policy is active, note the renewal date, set a reminder, and ensure there is zero gap if you are switching providers. Then go to your state DMV website and pull your full driving record. Review your point total, look for any open flags or unresolved violations, and confirm your address on file is current and accurate. If you find something unresolved, handle it this week. The cost of clearing an old ticket proactively is always a fraction of what it costs to reinstate a suspended license, pay criminal court fees, and rebuild an SR22 insurance requirement that follows your record for years. Put your phone completely away while driving. Not on your lap, not on the seat beside you, not in your hand at a red light. In the console, face down. The few seconds of convenience are not worth the citations, the points, and the direct path to suspension that phone use now carries in state after state across this country in 2026. Your license is not just a card. It is how you get to work, how you take your children where they need to go, and how you maintain the independence that most people never appreciate until the moment a system removes it without ever calling to warn them first. The drivers losing their licenses in 2026 are not all reckless people making obvious mistakes on the highway. Many of them are careful, responsible people who simply did not know the rules had changed, that the systems tracking them were upgraded, and that the margin for error had essentially disappeared. You now know what they did not. And that knowledge, built on real verified laws including Pennsylvania Act 3 of 2026, Kansas SB 42, South Carolina's Hands-Free Act, and New York's point system overhaul is exactly what this channel is built to give you every single week. If this video helped you today, share it with someone you care about, because the driver next to you almost certainly has not heard any of this. And if you want to stay ahead of every law change and every update that affects your license and your rights on the road, subscribe to this channel right now and turn on your notifications. We publish every week, and what comes next is going to matter just as much as what you just heard. Stay informed and stay protected.